Like
fast
the
trailers.
Matrix?
Huh?
Like the Matrix trailer? Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I can't. I don't know what it is about like his hair and his beard. I just felt John Wick until they finally got into more Matrix stuff.
My
It
thing is there's a severe lack of Lawrence Fishburne.
right. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but
How are you
come
gonna
on.
replace your second biggest actor?
Man, man.
That's awesome. I figured it was Shang-Chi. I had this debate with a guy at work today about the future of the MCU, and he's very hopeful because he's a an IT tech guy and he's full nerd. Like it was awesome talking to him. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like I'll have to see it. It doesn't fit the flavor of the first movie. It doesn't fit the flavor of the second or third movie. Um,
The honestly, with the Matrix for me, the second and third movie just miss. Like I can appreciate what they went for, but I think the Matrix is best served as a standalone film. That said, I do enjoy two and three every once in a while, but three was a really big miss because they went all like way, way, way out there. But it ended it. It ended the trilogy in a way that they shouldn't revive it. Like, but at the same time, maybe this fourth installment will do some justice to bring me back towards the first film, which I would be completely happy with. I have no
well,
problems making the fourth movie my second favorite. I just don't think you can top the first.
Well, and I think now that they've had more time to sit on it and think about it, maybe actually plan out a trilogy. I don't think they had it planned out, and you can really feel the flavor for the difference between one, which was a lot of good action, but it was also spread with character development, with story, with background, with a lot of good stuff. And this world building, and then you go into the second one, and it's just like you could see the money being thrown at the screen. You could see the
Oh yeah.
budget just went nuts, and that flavor fit right into the third one where it was like, yeah, this is good enough to finish it instead of a quality finish. And like you said, the first one's a
Oh
standalone movie. You didn't really need anything after that. But
yeah.
um, real fast, Jabari says Lawrence out of weight though. I'll tell you what though, he didn't look too bad in Hannibal, and I know that was a couple of years ago.
He
But
didn't look too
really
bad
though,
in John Wick either.
right. Well, and in today's world, like, don't tell me like, I mean, I understand if you don't want to lose weight, that's cool, man. I love food, and I don't really want to work out either. But I mean, if you a big enough payday, you offer him enough money. I mean, money talks. A personal trainer in 6 months, dude's good to go. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like, he
yeah.
doesn't need to do
I
kicks and
think he
flips.
would have because I heard rumor that he spoke out and said that he wasn't even invited. Nobody ever called him, which to
Oh,
me is absolutely shocking.
I can't
If
imagine they didn't call him.
I can't imagine it either, but if that is true, that's absolutely absurd.
Right,
Like, how are you not going to contact your Morpheus? Like, even if he was to turn it down.
right. You brought
I
back
mean,
Trinity, which has really no right to be there from what we know so far. But I don't know. I'm interested. I'll see it, especially since it's on HBO Max. I'm going to appreciate that. I'm going to take advantage of that. I'd love to go to the theaters, but we'll have to kind of see where it's at. If I got
I
some free
feel
time,
like
I'll throw some money at it.
I feel like I'll have to throw money at it just because it's a Matrix film.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if I could go back in time and see the first one in theaters, I would. I saw the second and third in theaters. But I had one of
When I
those.
came when I came out of that movie, I was 12 years old, and I knew. I looked at my mom went with me, and she's like, I have no clue what happened throughout this entire movie. I told her, I said, look, this movie is a game changer. I said, action will never be the same. I said, CGI will never be the same at 12 years old. And I was right 100% after that, between
Oh,
everybody spoofing it, mimicking it, and just throwing CGI into our
I feel
faces. It was never the same.
I feel like there's a handful of movies that did that, and Matrix is one of the top ones. Like
Yeah.
where it's just like the game was never the same. Terminator 2 is another one. Those two films alone, I would personally say they're top two game changer action sci-fi films. Like you don't, they're not. I mean, what, where do you top those two movies?
Right.
But I actually realized I only own the first two. Oh wow. And they're both full screen editions. That's how old my My copies are.
I think I've got the quadrilogy if you end up wanting to buy them from me.
Man is trying to sell me everything he owns. But
Gotcha.
no, I'm interested. I'll watch it. I think it's weird. It's coming out like the same day or same film cycle as John Wick 4, which just blows my mind and never saw the third one. I mean, it's
I don't I don't
the
mind
third
it. I
Matrix
actually
film is kind of a letdown for most people is but they can I feel like a lot of people respect it for what it tried to do.
right. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be, but it's not. It's hard. A lot of these movies just the climax, the third act, it's just not as good as the first two. Like I said, they follow the exact same flavor from the second movie into the third movie, but there's a little bit more stakes involved in the third movie. Uh, so it kind of it is what it is. I still enjoy the trilogy. It really is like a uh uh and then you just drop down with each movie. But I find myself actually grabbing for the
Mm,
second movie more just because characters are more of who they are. Like Morpheus is completely in the leader role. He doesn't have to just talk to Neo the whole time. Neo's in his role. The love story is in full force. I kind of like that the characters are fleshed out better and more who they were gonna be. And I like that the action is just crazy. And I think for this movie, it works. That CGI and that crazy dumb action works because it's in a computer. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of give you can give to the Matrix because yeah, it's inside a computer generated, world. So I don't know.
for
There's a
me,
lot to give, but
the first Matrix is kind of where it's at because it's got that like 90s goth film feel, kind of like The Crow or
Dark
um,
City.
Dark City. It's got that vibe that you can feel something superhero-y, but it's not so blatant and in your face like Daredevil or Batman and Robin. It's also got a great story to follow. Like it, every time I watch it, I don't feel myself. There's few films that are story driven like that I feel like I can follow and enjoy the whole time, like that Fight Club, where I don't just put it on and start ignoring it for something else because it's done so well. Neo's story is really, really interesting. By the second movie, though, I feel like it was a movie because it was going to make money. The
Right.
first movie was a movie because there was a story.
Right. No, yeah, it's completely like we said. The first one could be a complete standalone, no problem. But
Mhm.
okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer I want to talk about real fast, and that is Spider-Man: No Way Home. I watched the trailer a couple times. I know a lot of people are freaking out about it. I think it's okay. I'll get into more of my thoughts. I want to hear yours first. Go ahead.
Personally, I am excited to see what they're going to do, and I think none of us are stupid. I think we all know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to get the three Spider-Men. I think there's a chance we might get an unsuspecting fourth or fifth. We might get a Miles. We might get, I don't know, just
Miles would be
something
sweet. That
random.
would be perfect to introduce him and then start his own movies off of that. Perfect.
Yeah. Because there's so much you can do.
Mhm.
Honestly, the moment that I feel like everybody was super happy for the Hello Peter moment.
Mhm.
I was more happy when I heard Willem Dafoe's laugh.
Thank you.
When I
Same here.
heard that, I was like, and I'm sold.
Yep.
Like, I'm not gonna turn down seeing Doc Ock. Like, I'm not. But when hearing Willem Dafoe, it just, yeah, I'm gonna see it. I'm sold. What he was to Green Goblin, like, there was no better casting choice. There really wasn't. And I think with today's kind of modern twist on the Marvel films, they might be able to make it just campy and dark enough to fit that same vibe we had from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, which I'm all game. I'm all game. I do think I'm kind of tired of superhero films. He and I have had this conversation. Sky beams, impending doom. I feel like we need to scale it down a little. That's one thing I will give the Batman is it seems like they're going back to smaller street crime. Um, but I don't know. I'm torn on the plot and the premise, but I will go see it. I am excited to see that film.
I think had somebody at the end of the last Spider-Man, Far From Home, where they, he is, yeah, it's told that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's see what happens with this. But then somebody on the internet, I feel bad, whoever said it, made a good point. They're like, the scrolls, that the good guy scrolls, why couldn't they just have like Spider-Man roll up next to Peter Parker and be like, look, obviously I'm not Peter Parker. Like I feel like since the scrolls and Peter Parker now have intermingled or whatever, that's a simple fix. I don't I feel like making the spell with Doctor Strange, messing with reality like that. I know
That
he's
is a
I know
I
he's
feel
cocky, but I just don't think he's that stupid.
okay, that moment, anybody who's watched CW's The Flash, that is a damn it, Barry. Like as soon as Doctor Strange was like, "Oh yeah, we can work on that," I'm like, "Why would you do that? You know better. You know, like this was the whole plot of your standalone film. Is
Right,
don't mess with it. Like
right,
I, I just, damn it, Barry.
right.
No, don't do it.
You know what's funny is like I don't know why, but I don't care. Okay, Doc Ock, I like Doc Ock. I want to say that right now. The actor who I never can remember his name, I like that actor a lot. But Doc Ock to me, just he's nowhere near. Like I like the new Goblin and I like Green Goblin better than I do Doc Ock. I don't understand people's love for Spider-Man 2. I will never understand it. People freaking love that movie, and I'll never get it. I'm still
I
excited to see Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Sandman and whoever else they decide to bring in there. But at the same time, I'm like, are we really gonna do this now? Like, I don't know.
I honestly, I am really, I for that original Spider-Man trilogy there, I do love the first movie. I think it was a great superhero film. I think it came out at the perfect time, had the right amount of budget, had a good story. The second film I remember liking, but I also don't remember it that well. It's been a while since I've seen it. And the third was a huge letdown. Like everybody. I don't know a single person who's like, yeah, Spider-Man 3 is really good. Really
I
good.
prefer Spider-Man 3 over Spider-Man 2. I just don't understand. People regard Spider-Man 2 as one of the best sequels, superhero sequels of all time. I have no clue how that happens, but hey, yeah,
I would,
Jabari says that they made that to compete with Flashpoint. 100% nailed it. What
I,
sucks though is DC has been working on Flashpoint for a while since probably Batman vs Superman. Um,
yeah.
Academy Award nominee and ended up Rob Schneider in the Judge Dredd for Shang-Chi movie and ended up being Rob Schneider in Judge Dredd for Shang-Chi. Oh, I'm confused on the end of that. Ended up being Rob Schneider in Judge Dredd for Shang. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I got that. I'm sorry. Hello. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. Before this new movie comes out, December 17th or whatever, I do want to go back and watch one, two, and maybe three if we have time. Or just pick one of those and go. Maybe two. I don't know, and see what I'm missing. I just think for me, I can't get past Spider-Man loses his powers because he just doesn't want to do it anymore. Like, he just doesn't want to do it. It doesn't work like that. I don't. I'll never understand that. Like Spider-Man can punch Doc Ock in the face hard, and he just keeps coming. If Spider-Man, like Doc Ock, his body is still human. If Spider-Man punched him in the face, he would go to Night Night Land until they woke him up from his coma. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I just don't understand. Doc Ock is a cool side villain to a main villain, maybe that would team up to help out Spider-Man, but he's not a main villain. Like, not toe to toe, hand to hand. Like, smarts wise, sure, couple jabs, but you go hand to hand. Doc Ock should lose every time, like within minutes. But
Again, like I
she
said, I
was
don't have
useless
a
comedy
whole lot.
relief character. Yeah,
I don't even own any of the original Spider-Man films, and I will say I've only seen the first Amazing Spider-Man. I wasn't impressed, so I never took the time to see the second one.
Okay.
Um,
It's okay. A lot. It's better than people make it out to be. It really is. It really is. The Goblin in that movie is really good for the time you get him. But hey, I have all those for sale too.
Stop trying to sell me stuff. I'm poor.
Trying to
I'm
rip you up,
especially
man.
poor. I did film my unboxing of that Halloween 5 figure. Man, it's bad. I sound like hot death, so I think I'm gonna have to reshoot it, make it a re like a just like a review video.
Yeah, just
I
do a
was I was
post
watching it and I was
unboxing. Yeah, just
yeah,
do a
I was
post
watching
unboxing
it and I
review.
was gonna send it to you and I was like, man, I sound terrible. I'm not sending this to you.
Yeah. Hey,
Um,
real fast, we just I'm gonna scoot through something else real quick, and then we get the movie started. Halloween Kills. Early early reactions in Rotten Tomatoes, and it going to Peacock at the same time it goes to theaters. What do you think?
going to Peacock, I think is a smart move with the Delta variant and trying to both keep it alive and they can't push back another year. Um,
Right.
and other things are starting to push back again. And people are still going out and there are people who are going to want to stay home. So I think it's a smart choice. It's the best of both worlds. It's really what they can do. I've seen heavy criticism by people who seem to be non-horror fans. That's usually the case with critic reviews. 9 times out of 10, most of them aren't fans of horror. They're fans
Especially the
of
more gore
whatever
you
the
throw at them.
popular. Yeah, and they're calling it. I saw one review where they said it was nothing but gore porn, which makes me feel like this is going to be a Michael Myers more along the lines of H2, H6, and maybe the Rob Zombie Halloween films, like extremely brutal kills. They're
Well,
not going to hold back.
I think this Michael
And
Myers is going to stand on his own. I think he's not going to be immortal like H6 or like
yeah,
H2. He's not going to be
I
Rob Zombie's like
I
brutal,
just mean the
slow killing.
brutality of Myers. Like,
Right, but I think this will be a standalone Myers that kills faster, that is more not robotic, but like systematic about it. Just like I'm out here to do as much damage as I can this night.
I just I feel like everything I see I like, but I want to go see it. I'm super excited to see it. But I am suffering from that fatigue. We've been sitting on the movie for 2 years now. So it's like I mean, I'm gonna be there happy to see it, but I just, like I'm more okay waiting on Ghostbusters. Like I'm not fatigued waiting on that. Like I'm okay. But with this, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I feel exhausted by the thought of it. It's weird. And I do know there's already people blabbing about Halloween Kills being, or Halloween Ends being a much slower paced film. And I think that makes sense. Halloween 2018 was not slow paced at all, but it had to build. Halloween 2 is going to be the peak, or Halloween Kills. Then Halloween Ends, it's going to plateau. Um, I don't know. Everything is all speculation at the moment. It looks good. Things look positive. I gave in and watched all the trailers I could find. I know this guy still avoided. Have you still avoided?
Yeah. I dude, I don't need a single trailer. I loved H18. I love Michael Myers. I love the Halloween franchise. I'm there. I don't want to see anything until I see the movie because I just want to go in and I just want to I want to take it all in, I think. Normally I don't really care as much. I want to see more about things because most of the time when you go into a second movie like you go from Avengers to the next movie or you go to Captain America 2, usually it's a completely different bad guy or something like that. It's a completely different time. They've already come through and other things that they're going through. Now we're just progressing through the night. I know how Laurie's doing. I know how Karen's doing and the granddaughter and I know how Michael Myers is hurt. He's in the basement. That's all I need to know. I just want to see him get out and do some damage. I don't need anything from this movie. Nothing against anybody that wants to watch the trailers, but for me, I don't need anything. I need nothing. You got my money. I don't need anything.
So on
That's
that, if we're able to make the time to go see Candyman, that means you're gonna have to close your eyes and do this.
right.
Because there's a trailer that plays in front of Candyman that shows a lot for Halloween Kills. And if you pay close enough attention to the quick cuts, you'll get a few ideas.
Yeah. So wait, where does Gaga come in? Is this Lady Gaga? I'm confused.
I don't know what House of Gucci is. I got nothing there.
I'm gonna say that's Lady Gaga. Which power to you? Lady Gaga, she's a fox, man. But I'll try to watch Halloween Kills in theaters. Yeah, I will too. We'll see what it's like in a month, but I'm definitely gonna try to get to the theaters. But if it doesn't, at least we get to watch it at home for a subscription fee, which I'll be canceling.
Now, I will say that like I said for The Matrix, I feel like that's a theater movie. I do feel like Halloween Kills is as well. The good news is with Halloween Kills, if you go at the right time of day, it won't be busy. Whereas if you go to see a Matrix film, it's going to be busy for weeks,
Right, that's true.
even if it sucks. Because I feel like there's a Keanu Reeves craze right now, and even if the movie's bad, everybody's going to go see it.
We will be back soon. Check out our old stuff if you got time, if you want to. We ramble on a bunch of crap, so it's good to see you
Yeah.
guys. We'll catch you next time. JK out.
Good night.